Hello, welcome back to the Illy Lagos Show. So I'm gonna be very candid with this YouTube channel, because that's just how I am. There's not gonna be editing for the time being because I don't know how to edit. So I'm gonna try to keep things short and sweet so that we don't get bombarded with a lot of nonsense. Anyway, um, hello for those of you that are new to my channel. My name is Illy, and I recently came to Christ. Actually, it'll be a year in a month. Last April, I just, I decided, because it really is a decision, but the glory goes to Him, to God. I decided that I no longer identified as a lesbian, and that I wanted to give myself to Christ. And one of the reasons why I decided to give myself to Christ is because this world honestly wasn't fulfilling. In my last video, I talked about the New Age, and I talked about how the New Age is really is dangerous because it helps you, it makes you believe that you are in charge of your happiness, that it's important that you take charge of your happiness and that you have control over your happiness. And basically, in a nutshell, saying that you are God. You know, you don't need God. You don't need Jesus Christ. You just need some tools and some direction in order to fulfill your destiny. And of course, all of it is all about material things, about this physical world. Well, one thing I've learned coming to Christ is this world is broken. And the sooner you accept that this world is broken, the sooner you accept that you're broken and that you're a sinner and that you have a sinful nature and that you do need God, that you do need Jesus Christ in order to find freedom. It's not even about happiness. I was talking to a coworker of mine, and we were talking about how, you know, everybody's so obsessed with happiness and finding their happiness and almost trying to have other people succumb to their will in order to help them find happiness. And that's the fallacy. I don't personally believe we're here to be happy. And as long as it makes you happy, that's not true. That's a lie. Everything that I'm learning about being a Jesus freak is that when you give your life to Christ, you literally give your life to Christ. You give everything that you thought makes you happy to Him. Because to be honest, there's nothing in this world that can make you happy. And if it does, it's not for very long. And it's this constant bottomless pit of wants and desires and unfulfilled wants. And you know, it's like, when is enough enough? You know, I have friends who are always chasing that dollar, and they never seem to get enough. And they have this idea that, you know, when I get to this point, then I'll be happy. Or when I get to this point, then I'll be satisfied. And then years later, they're still thinking the flag has moved. You know, like all of a sudden, they're like, well, I just know that, you know, I'll get a breakthrough, or my time will come, or whatever. And they've spent all these years chasing something that is not being fulfilling. And to me, that's shackles. That's bondage. In the other video, I talked about New Age. Just some of the things that they talk about work, you know, but it's temporary. So part of my journey, part of my testimony, I talked about how I went through all this new age stuff, you know, just this personal development, this self-help. Um, I was going through these courses, and I was becoming more authentic. I will say this. I was becoming more authentic to myself, and I was learning how to say no to things, because for a long time I was such a people pleaser. I just wanted everyone else around me to be happy, and if I could make that happiness happen, I would. And it's really kind of selfish, because it's like I needed to feel validated, and the only way that I felt validated was through pleasing other people. And then I got to a point where that was too much, and so I started being selfish. You know, I started being like, well, I can do this, and this is about me, and this is my life, and they call it meology. And so, but however, I will say that some of the perks about learning these life skills, and learning how to be more authentic, was that I started developing my own voice, which is not necessarily bad, but too much of it could be bad, you know, because then you start thinking it's all about you, and you start thinking you're God, right? So that's the thing about New Age, is the New Age, it encourages you to believe that you alone can fix your problems, and that you alone can heal. Now, again, there are some good things. You know, I learned how to be more grateful. That's not a bad thing. I learned how to be more humble. That's not a bad thing. And I learned how to be authentic. I was at a point in my life where I was single, and I realized that I need to be here single for a while. I needed to really, figure out what I wanted, right? Not necessarily a bad thing. But it starts being a bad thing when it becomes obsessive, where that's all you care about is what you want. And so on my journey to Christ, because this is also part of it, you know, this New Age thing, and I would do these self-help books and these personal development courses, and they were helpful in the sense that it gave me some confidence in myself, and I started setting boundaries, and I started being more independent. And the good thing, because I do truly believe that God uses things that might have been intended for bad or misdirection, he uses it for good. And in this case, I think that my New Age journey to Tennessee was for good. It led me to him. It led me to Jesus Christ. At first, when I got here, I didn't know that that's where I was headed. You know, I didn't know that I was going to be a Christian. I didn't know that I was going to come to Christ. No clue whatsoever. And but the Lord used what I learned about independence to get me to move, here to Franklin, Tennessee. And one of the good things about moving to Franklin, Tennessee is that I became more independent, and then I became isolated. He set me apart. The Lord set me apart so that I could fully focus on me in a spiritual way, which led me to finding Jesus. And it's just, I'm just amazed at how it unfolded. And I will get into it more and more through these videos, but I just wanted to do a short little video on coming to Christ, and some of the good things that I learned through the New Age that God used to bring me to Christ. So I don't want to make this too long, because we all have attention deficit disorder. So anyway, coming to Christ is a forever journey, and I love it, and I'm excited about it, and I will talk about the low points and the struggles that I've had. But in the next video, I want to talk specifically about giving up homosexuality and giving up my identity as a lesbian. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I ask that the Lord bless you and keep you. And just have you on this journey with me, and I hope that it blesses you. So anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.